Okay folks, we've got our radiator out here getting ready to see if it's gonna, or how much trouble it's gonna be to put in. You can see both hoses on driver's side. We're lower hose on driver's side on this, and upper hose on passenger side. But shouldn't be a problem to change that over. Still gotta get the fan, the pulley, alternator, which I don't have, power steering pump. And I don't think I'm going to do the oil pump. I mean the air pump, air compressor. That hole right there is the one that was supposed to be machined to return the oil, and it's not. So you know, I can always add it on later. It actually goes on the outside belt, so it's not a problem. We'll go ahead and get some, try to get some belts on it. Go ahead and get the power steering pump, stuff like that on it, and then we've got, we'll probably have to put this in, you know, figure out what we need, take it back out, you know, do what we need. We're going to clean it up, get some paint on it, and get all that dirt out of the fins, get it back in there, and I think she's going to work out fine. But trying to imagine is where the fan's going to be. We're going to probably stop the radiator about right here, as low as we can get it, because that hood comes in. I'll grind that and make it look like somebody knew what they was doing when they'd done it anyway. And either drill a couple more holes here or just weld these brackets on. I'm not too worried about them really. Like I said, we had to lower this whole thing down. You can see it's angled down farther because the hood's 1.5 inches shorter. And for anybody that don't know, that's the O2 IC hood that they never put on a truck. And I'm doing it because I want it, so not for any other reason. And you can see we had to space these hinge brackets out on each side. Now there's no nuts or no washers on here, so we're gonna have to pull these back off, put washers on them. And you know, we was just trying to get everything arranged and put in where it needed to be, you know, for the strength and all. And you know, getting the hood lined up, so it's not bad where it's at. I just pulled the 2 pins. I didn't have the cables on yet. I've got to get them hooked up yet. And the cables actually came in originally and hooked into these brackets, but I've got to hunt up some cables, or I should have some on an old front end here somewhere. But I probably just going to get the power steering pump. I don't have an alternator yet. I think I've got an alternator. I don't have a double pulley. I let a friend of mine get the pulley, so I'll have to come up with one. You can see the dirt daubers has been in my bolt holes, of course, on the heads. And you know, I hope you're somewhere where you don't have problems with them. They're kind of aggravating. We'll have to run a tap through there to get it cleaned out, because if not, you'll never get it clean, or clean enough, and you end up stripping a bolt if you're not careful. So okay, we'll go ahead and get something on there, and then I'll show you more. Alright, we got that last one. We'll get something and do it, and that should be good. Now if we just get it all on there before the bees get back in there, or mud daubers, or dirt daubers, or whatever you want to call them. But we'll start getting this stuff on, and I'll show you more. Okay folks, took an air hose and blew all them holes out when I was done, and terrible stink. It smelled like a chicken house after you cleaned it out, and all that ammonia smell, but that was rough. I think I got it all over my shirt. Terrible. Anyway, I told you before that there was 4 belts that went on here, one for running the air compressor, but I was wrong. Or, well, I was 4 here, and then 1 extra one for running it would be 5, but it actually runs off the water pump pulley. So this is actually the extra belt. So we're going to go ahead and run it either way. We're going to put it on there. And I've got to put the bracket on to get the power steering to line up right. So I will probably, this is where I was talking about the oil actually leaks back, it goes back down in there and goes back into the block through the bottom of the damn air compressor. So what I'll probably do is end up drilling and tapping and adding a fitting in and running it back to the oil drain on the back. There's an oil line here, but that's pressure. That's back inside. That actually line comes from there to the air compressor to lubricate it. Okay, we got all the brackets on for the power steering. I'm going to get it on. You got to watch on these bus engines because there's a lot of times you'll have a lot of water ports on them and stuff that you don't need because you know a lot of them had dual heat and everything else. But this had an extra line running out here. I only really needed one, but because of the way these fittings are in here, I just went ahead and plugged that one off, and I'll just run into this one. This is going to be the return line. It could be the pressure, but it's one of the two lines is for the actual air compressor to cool it. And so we'll go ahead and get the pump on now. Everything's mounted and good to go. Okay folks, pump's on, getting ready to mount the fan and stuff. I think we had some other brackets I think that went here that actually went to the air conditioning. I think we're going to be fine there because we're going to run a hydraulic pump here instead of air conditioner. And I went ahead and run a tap through these holes because you know we had some paint in them. So now we can get the pulleys on, and then we're going to go ahead and get the fan on, and then we'll see if we can set that radiator. Show you more. Alright, don't laugh at my rigging there. The only way I can get it level. When you're working by yourself, it's kind of rough. Okay, it don't actually look too bad. I really probably need to get a little bit lower with this. I figure if we just put it as low as we can possibly put it, then we don't have to take a chance on it or worry about it. So it looks like we need to cut these off. And we'll just cut both of them. I don't want to cut the welds or anything. I'm going to leave the pieces on there. I just want to go ahead and cut these off. And then that'll drop us down at least another 2 inches, and that should give us clearance. And if we end up having trouble with the radiator cap being too high, we'll actually take it off, put a plate over it. It's all steel too, so we'll put a plate over it, and then we'll use an overflow tank like it did originally, and I'm sure that will clear everything. The original radiator had lips on it, a flat piece that actually went over and bolted in down through here. So what we can do is actually make 2 flats, take these off, make 2 flats that we can weld onto the radiator and actually bolt right back in exactly where it's supposed to be. And we've got good clearance on the fan. And looks like that fan is going to be too low for our shroud, which I might be wrong because you know our radiator is going to be 2 inches down more. So we'll look at the shroud real quick and see. Okay, we got a big open shroud, so it's probably a little bigger than, must have had a lot bigger fan on it than what I'm running. So we may run that. We'll see. Okay folks, it's of course dark here. Didn't get as much done as I wanted to get done. I had to leave, go winch a mobile home, which I didn't videotape, but it wasn't too exciting, so didn't get any more done. I did, you know, I do have it sitting in there. You can see what it's going to look like. Like I said, I'm going to move it down about 2 inches, and that'll clear everything up front. I'll do that tomorrow. And the reason I'm going to go ahead and post this video is I don't want the videos to get too long, because it's harder for me to post them. It takes a lot more time. So I'd rather just post quite a few short ones than, you know, 1 or 2 long ones. And I don't know how it is for y'all watching, but that's the way I'm going to do it. So we're moving right along. I'm going to go ahead and order my Hydro Boost and new master cylinder, and so I can start getting the brakes run on it. I want to get it where I can start it up and run it a little while. You know, that engine's been sitting. I think I'm probably going to have to put injectors in it, because it's actually, believe it or not, flooding out. It's which you don't see that too much on diesels, but I think I've got an injector that's sticking or giving a little trouble. So, and so we know what we need to do with this. We're going to pull it back out. We're going to you know, get the plates on it I want to put on it, and I'm going to run plates all the way down the side. Take these off, run plates all the way down the side, let them overlap onto here, and then they'll be bolted into here. Probably just weld them on here, bring it out here, and then drill the holes and actually bolt them with nuts, and that will take care of that. And that frame is actually mounted on rubber back there, and it's actually mounted on rubber here. So the radiator is supposed to mount in solid to it, so it shouldn't cause any problems. And I want to, like I said, I want to get this thing started up and running a while on the you know, with some water in it. That way we can make sure we're not going to have to put injectors in it or whatever we're going to have to do. I'll probably put some cleaner in it. It sit for quite a while. So the radiator looks pretty good in there. When it's done, get it painted and get it in there, it'll look like it's made for it. So, but that's today, and we'll get back on her tomorrow, and if we get time, and get a little more done. Appreciate you watching, subscribing, commenting, thumbs up. Hopefully no thumbs down, but that's up to you. Don't matter to me. Till next time, bye.